Hello and welcome. Welcome back to my channel. My name is C. Hill for those that are new, and I am here documenting my nursing school journey. I am a career changer. I'm in my 40s, and I wanted to make sure that I document this transition from my current career to nursing for individuals that are pursuing a second career, whether it is nursing, whether it is in something else, and you are in your 40s and older. I definitely wanted to make sure I be an inspiration as well as encourager that we can do it at any age, right? And so that's why I created this channel, and that's you'll see different episodes is what I'm going to call them as I journey through this process. So before we get into the video, I want to read a disclaimer, and the disclaimer will be on the screen at the same time. So the views and opinions expressed in this video are my own and do not reflect the views of any parties or a specific entity or affiliate, organization, and employer. So just wanted to start off with that. Now let's get into the video. The primary reason I wanted to talk today is I want to talk about how to attend nursing school absolutely for free. When I say free, I mean financially free. You will not have any financial obligations while attending nursing school. With both of the programs that I'm going to describe today, they both offer book stipend. They both offer monthly cost of living stipend, and again, 100% tuition paid. Although one of the programs a little delayed, but as long as your school is involved and understand, you should go through the process. So I don't want to make this video long. What I may do is introduce these two and then go a deeper dive into both separately. So just to give you a quick overview, the two programs I am referring are the Department of Veteran Affairs Health Professional Scholarship Program, and the other is Nurse Corp, but it's the scholarship for tuition, not loan repayment. So when I get to the computer, I will show you the difference, or I would say the specific website link that you need to go to for Nurse Corp. So both of these programs are very similar. So I'm going to give you their similarities first, then I'll break down the differences, and then at that point you can decide which program or scholarship is best for you. Now, if you've been following me on this channel, I attend West Coast University, which in every city that it's in, it's known for their tuition costs. So I was surprised that not only West Coast University was an institution that both of these programs will pay for 100%, but also they was considering paying for Chamberlain University and any other private, expensive nursing program that's a bachelor's degree, master's degree. You'll see when we get on the computer. But just to give you a quick summary, the similarities in both programs, again, as I stated at the beginning, tuition free. They pay 100% for your tuition, your fees, your books, and as long as your course material is included in the tuition, both of them pay for your course material. And I'll break that down later when I get into the differences. So that's overall. They have a similar application process. So both of them require that you have two recommendations. They both require essay type questions that they want you to answer. And they're just one or two. Two or three. And they both offer for you to submit like on a portal where you have to, when you submit those recommendations or those references, both of them require that your reference go in independently to submit your application, their recommendation. So with that being said, sometimes you'll have to do a lot of follow-up. That's all of the similarities. Again, 100% tuition paid, like $100,000 plus programs, they're okay with that. Once you graduate, both of them require a service obligation. What does that mean? Both of them have similar requirements when it comes to the number of months or years. Let's just say that. I would say 12 months plus if you're in a 12-month program and beyond, 18, 24 months, whatever program you're in. They both require a certain amount of months you have to serve in a particular population in order for you to meet the after graduation obligation. Okay, let's talk about the differences. The differences, we'll start off with Department of Veterans Affairs, HPSP, Health Professional Scholarship Program. So the difference is for the Veterans Affair, I am not a veteran. I salute everyone that has served in our military, and I thank you for your service, definitely, because we wouldn't be safe without you. So I definitely thank you for your service. However, in this program, you do not have to be a veteran. It is for, specifically, actually, is for non-veterans. I believe the veterans or current military members have a different program. It may be named the same, but it is different when we get into the system, you'll see. So that's one that you don't have to be in the military or have been in the military to receive the HPSP. Also, with the HPSP, you must be relocatable. What does that mean? At the end of, like, once you graduate and you pass your NCLEX exam, you must submit 3 to 5 locations. And it varies depending on the different programs that you can go into post-graduation. But it's 3 to 5 locations that you must submit and rank them in your order that you prefer. And then they will select which facility that you will go to. Again, with the Veterans Veterans Affairs, obviously you have to work for a veteran facility. So the VA facilities, they have both hospitals or clinics in like a medical group type of setting. And so you have to select out of a huge list of what cities are available at the time of your graduation, because those different cities will change what the need is at that time. And then, like I said, you rank them and you go and do your number of months service. Again, it's all going to be 12 plus months of service that you have to commit to and relocate on your own dime. Let me make sure I say that very clear. On your own dime, as well as, I've been told, there's not a lot of notice. Okay. Also, the difference is the veterans, every amount of money you receive from the veterans, whether it's the $1,300 book stipend that you get every year, it's a yearly stipend, it's not a monthly. And then you have a little over $1,300 paid to you monthly as a living expense the entire time that you're in. You have to be in school the entire time. So if your school takes a summer break, your monthly stipend stops until you go back into school. Okay? So the difference is all of that money that they pay, book stipend, monthly living cost of living stipend, and your tuition and fees, you will not have to claim those award money, or I should say scholarship money, on your taxes. The Nurse Corp, you do. So I'll get into Nurse Corp, but I'm just trying to highlight some of the pros of the program and the cons of the differences in the program. So we're still in a veterans HPSP explanation. And so the other difference is you will receive your notification if you got the award sooner than Nurse Corp. What I mean by that is I made my application, or I completed my portion of the application mid-March of 2024. And they actually notified me by May, the first week of May, maybe mid-May. I apologize, maybe mid-May. However, Nurse Corp is totally different, and I'll get into that. So now, those are the different pros and cons. I would say the biggest con that I hear from everyone for the HPSP is that they do not receive notice. It's almost like, I haven't heard the number of weeks, but I know it's almost like, I'm just going to give you a scenario. You have 3-week notice to move from California to New York. I mean, it literally could be that way. Again, it's based on the need and where they need you to go. So if you need to look at your personal situation to see if that's going to be suitable for you. Now, let's go to the pros and cons, or I guess the differences from Nurse Corp and the HPSP. So in Nurse Corp, you actually have to write an entire essay. It's only 2 questions, but they want it in a essay style scholarship. Now, don't let that scare you, because this is my second bachelor's degree. I did not receive any scholarships my first bachelor's degree, and it wasn't because I was in my 20s. It's because I never got awarded. I mean, I would write the essay, I would have somebody review the essay, all those things, and I never received the award. So I don't want you to think, oh my God, I have an essay. No, I don't want to do it. What I'm going to recommend for both, because Veterans Affairs have 3 questions that they ask you. And it's like they want you to answer those questions within 250 to 300 words each. And so if you think about it, even though it's 3 different questions, it's about the same amount of writing, I guess, and style of writing that the Nurse Corp wants you to answer, but just in one large essay. Okay. Also, the difference is Nurse Corp in 2024 to 2025 scholarship year, they were focusing on women's health. And they were focused on women's health. They were focusing on career path progressions, meaning if you were a CNA, if you were a medical assistant, if you were anything within medical scribe, anything that has a actual like licensure, or I should say more so certification, a national certification, and you've worked in that, or even be a volunteer, then they will use that as, oh, this is a career path progression type of eligibility for you to gain that award. Also, with Nurse Corp, all the money, they pay 100%. Now they do pay your books without the annual thing. They will just go by whatever your school invoiced them: tuition fees, books, uniforms, supplies, all the course material. So any type of skills lab, stethoscope, anything, all of that is included. And they want your school to itemize the invoices as they would do anyway, when you're paying for it out of pocket. And so they pay for everything. The caveat is, for Nurse Corp, you have to claim everything that they pay out on an annual basis. You have to claim it on your taxes. What I mean by that is they're going to send you, how you're employed and you receive a W-2, they would send you like a 1098, don't quote me, maybe 1095. It's one of those 10s where it's going to state everything they paid, and that is going to be considered income for you. So the cons on that as well is a lot of students have stated that they have lost their healthcare.gov benefits because this chunk of money, let's just say if you go to WCU, that 12 months could be anywhere from $30,000 to $40,000, depending on, how many you had, when you started, like from January to December, let's just say that could be $30,000 to $40,000. Well, that is extra money on top of your income. And if you're making $50,000 a year, look how that has increased. You're now in a new tax bracket of $90,000 when technically you only received $1,500 a month. That's the stipend for Nurse Corp. It's roughly around a little over $1,500 a month. So if you do $1,500 a month times 12, that is nothing like taking you to the next tax bracket of, again, with my example, $90,000. So it's something to consider. I applied to both. I was prepared. I applied to both because 100% tuition paid. I was all for that. Like, whatever I have to do, I'll figure the taxes thing out later. But my goal was to get the 100% tuition paid scholarship. The other caveat to Nurse Corp is they have the community service that you have to do, but they have a list anywhere in the United States. It can be in your same hometown where you're living, your current location. You just have to go, it's a certain amount of points. Let's just say if your county hospital is, of course, it's county and it takes all of the uninsured patients, then they may be at the score of 45. But the minimum that you have to, like the scoring of their locations, the minimum you have to select after postgraduate. This is post-graduation. This is after you receive your RN license. Then you would have to select one of the facilities, if they're hiring, one of the facilities that's at that threshold of, I'm just going to say 44 points. And they have clinics on there, as well as, I should say, physician groups, as well as hospitals. So that's the difference with them versus the Veterans Hospital. Again, you have a list. That list may only have 15 locations, and you have to select 5 of them, right? Or you may have a shorter list of 10 locations, and you have to select 3 of them. So those are the 2 differences when it comes to postgraduate and what options you have afterwards. And again, Nurse Corp, you don't have to move unless there's nothing in your hometown and nothing within, a drivable, mile radius from your home to the closest area. But for HPSP, you sign a mobility agreement. You are saying, I promise to relocate. Just things to think about. Okay, second difference, or I guess I'm on third difference with Nurse Corp is when you apply. I applied March 30th, and I withdrew my application because I did receive the Veterans Hospital or Veterans Affairs HPSP scholarship. However, the individuals that applied, the deadline for Nurse Corp is May 1st. Well, this is for 2024 application cycle. So I applied like end of March, and they didn't look at anybody's applications until May 2nd. Let's just say that, because the deadline was May 1st. So with that being said, the recipients didn't find out if they received the scholarship until September 15th. Just let that sink in. Dun, dun, dun. So that's one of the huge actually the biggest hurdle everyone have with Nurse Corp is the taxable income. The second one is that, let's just say I started in it started in June. My school knew and they were a part of my scholarship application. I'm going to get to that. But let's just say I'm still waiting. So guess what? A lot of students had to take out loans, had to do some supplemental until they knew September, remember, that they did receive the scholarship, Nurse Corp. I'm talking about Nurse Corp specifically right now. So let's say September 15th, you find out I was awarded, I got the scholarship, yay, yay. Even though you front paid all that, they will back pay the school from June to September, but they won't back pay like your loans or anything like that. Anything that you had to do to supplement until you found out you received the scholarship, they will not do that. Also, they will, you won't receive your first stipend, because I was still on the app, on the, like the Facebook groups. There's Facebook groups and everything. So I was still receiving those notifications. I saw that individuals did find out by mid-September, but they didn't receive their money, like their monthly $1,500, until October, like 30th or some 28th. I'm just going to say that it was really close to the end of the month, which means now they did back pay the stipend. They back paid the stipend from, I'm just going to say, let's stick to our example, June. So in that first check on October 30th, you did receive from June, July, all the way to October. So you did receive that. However, look at the thing. We applied in March because they open up, I'm doing this video right on time because they open up the application cycle around March 14th, March 15th, something like that. And again, they usually close it May 1st. That's always the deadline, or the first somewhere in May, the beginning of May. So, or the end of April, I'm sorry, the end of April or beginning of May. That's usually what the application cycle is. And if your references for Nurse Corp, if your references have not submitted their evaluations by May 1st, your application is incomplete and you missed that cycle. So the sooner you start applying, the better. Okay, now you have the gist of the two programs. I would like for you to go through and decide which one you want to pursue. What I'm going to do next is I will do a screen share to talk deeper about the applications for each. And I will classify these videos separately. So we'll have a one for HPSP application process and one for Nurse Corp application process. I truly hope this has been helpful for you. I am all about making sure everyone win here. There's no gatekeeping over here in Sea Hills land because we chill all the time. That was corny. I'm sorry. I just had to do it. But overall, I think that if you start pursuing HPSP, we're going to go to the website on my next video and we'll look at, they have a rolling application. There's no deadline like Nurse Corp. So you just have to look at the dates. It'll specifically say for, like for mine, it said for summer 2024, you must complete your application by March 30th. For me, my evaluations or my evaluators, my references, they completed their portion March 27th and March 28th. So I was sweating. Because I was starting that summer, so 2024. As I stated earlier, I did accept the application. I'm sorry, I did accept the offer, and that did come May 20. That became May, like mid-May, and so I withdrew my application for Nurse Corp. So I do have a lot more information on HPSP since I was in that program. I'm in that program now, but all of the other things that I've learned about Nurse Corp has been from being in that Facebook group and hearing the challenges and the things that they face by accept that award. So Nurse Corp does have a webinar, and on the Nurse Corp video, I will link that in the description. This is going to be the webinar from 2024 to 2025. That is what that website link is going to be for. It's not going to be for this upcoming 25 to 26 application process. So please keep that in mind. But that webinar answers a lot of questions that a lot of students have on which nursing program they cover and what part they cover, especially when they get into the DE MSN programs. That webinar covers all of that in more detail. And so I'll have that at the end of the video. Okay, if there's nothing else that I can think of for this comparison, pros and cons, then I will definitely, I'll make sure I say it in the specific application process for either video. Okay, thanks so much. Be blessed, and I look forward to speaking to you again.